JoziMyBeginning is a competition that inspires communities to find solutions to their daily problems. With the 50 million rand prize fund, the initiative aims to develop bright ideas from the city residents that will benefit the public at large, enrich their lives, and create jobs. This is JoziMyBeginning. In this episode, we look into Johannesburg's Region B entertainment strips. We profile food waste entrepreneur Bernard Nordia. Ita Talyard gives us a lesson on Lego play, and we speak to fashion entrepreneur Nobesithu Ndlovu on The Big Interview. Molweni gini nonke makhaya, and welcome to JoziMyBeginning. My name is Nozipho Mpanza, and for the next half hour, we'll take a journey giving you the latest information on the City of Joburg's Community Innovation Fund. We'd love to hear from you throughout the duration of our show, so feel free to contact us on social media. Contact us on Facebook at JoziMyBeginning and hit us up on Twitter at JoziMyBeginning. Johannesburg's Region B has found a way to combine great food, hangout spots, and trendy fashion. From Malville to Parkhurst, we take a look at the region's best attractions. How is the region developed? Let's find out.
My name is Monwabisi Robert Siwedi. I'm the Acting Regional Director in the City of Johannesburg, Region B. The initiatives are ongoing in the region, actually, in terms of tourists. You know, Rosebank, for an example, it carries a lot of tourists. Transport is much more viable. You've got more than one mode of transport there. You can use a taxi, you can use a train. It's quite vibrant. Even if you look at the most prominent features, they have built a Gautrain there. That Gautrain has actually encouraged economic spin-off around Rosebank. Many businesses are now starting to mushroom and building high-rise buildings around there. And also, if you go down Parkhurst, there is another one that is developed, mushroomed around there. If you go to Greenside, there's a belt also there. It has created itself. Now, it informs us as a local government that this is what people want and they're creating for themselves. Now, ourselves, we need to manage it quite carefully to make it a point that at the end of the day, it doesn't become nuisance to others. We also have places like 7th Street in Melville. I hope many people know about 7th Street. It's a vibrant place for entertainment, which is located just next to residential properties. 7th Street is one of the main points where they would like to visit. In most cases, people who are coming from outside because of its vibrancy and the entertainment, different areas where you can go to in terms of entertaining yourself. If you'd like to get to a place with soft music, loud music, disco, you've got everything within the same strip. 7th Street, it's a well-known one. It comes with its own challenges on the side, which we are addressing from day to day. For an example, they say there are liquor outlets that are giving problems. Patrons are becoming unruly to residents around there. We then have to look at an appropriate intervention that we can implement there. Part of the function of the region, actually, when we receive these complaints, it's our responsibility now to have a meeting, strategize, and we go out and implement our bylaws in the city, including all other laws.
At the rate that development is happening around the city, the next couple of years promise to be very exciting times. Our website, jozimybeginning.co.za, is a great source of help for entrepreneurs. We offer useful information to help you succeed. Our social media kid, Brandon, is next with this week's hints and tips.
When using social media for your business, you should be using hashtags to support your messages. Why? Well, because hashtags allow people to find and follow discussions about specific topics. I found these guidelines by Digital Information World on how to properly use hashtags in your posts. Firstly, support your hashtags with images. This will boost your views and increase your overall engagement. Don't replace quality posts with hashtags though. Remember, they're there to support your actual message. Secondly, place your hashtags at the end of your posts. It makes your post neater and easier to read, so don't hashtag every single word. If you struggle to read your post, chances are everybody else will too. Next, identify what's trending and use those hashtags to complement your posts, but only if it is relevant to what you are talking about. Don't abuse trending hashtags in the hope that you'll attract more people to your posts. You're more likely to upset someone when they realize that your post has nothing to do with the hashtag that you're using. Finally, run hashtag-connected campaigns and competitions. Encourage users to use your hashtag with the chance of getting incentivized. Make sure that your hashtag is unique though and hasn't been used by somebody else's competition or campaign. So let's sum that up. Support your hashtags with images, use hashtags at the end of your posts, use trending hashtags, and run campaigns and competitions. That's all from me. Remember, you can find more hints and tips on our social media pages. On Facebook, it's JoziMyBeginning, and on Twitter, at JoziMyBeginning. Engage with us, we are looking forward to it. Until next time, remember, keep focused.
Most of us don't think about much after our last meal. Bernard Nordier's entrepreneurial journey begins at the end of an ordinary meal. He is converting food waste into biofuel. Let's find out how.
South Africa throws away roughly 10.2 million tons worth of food every single year, and that translates to 62 billion rands worth of food that ends up in a landfill. If you think about that in terms of what's wasted per person, that's about 1,000 rand that every South African throws away in terms of food that ends up in a landfill. I'm Bernard Nordier, and I'm the CEO of Aegis Environmental. So the idea behind the bioconversion process is that we would source food waste from different kinds of businesses, such as hotels or packages or farmers. It is then made inert by heating it up, and that also kills then housefly eggs and maggots that might be in the food waste already. The food is then placed into this container over here, where the larvae then feeds on the food waste. When they reach their pre-pupation stage, they naturally climb a little ramp over here into a container. At that point, we put some of the larvae into another container where we've got UV lights that introduce, or rather induces, breeding and mating. And then we can source the eggs and then start the whole process over again. The amount of flies we would need is highly dependent on how large a facility we would like to build. So we would want to work on about 100 tons worth of food waste every day. And working on that sort of capacity, that means that we would need about 100 million flies. The flies actually occur naturally in South Africa, and they are a cosmopolitan species, so they occur all around the world. Getting the products from the flies is actually a reasonably simple process. The flies, when they reach their pre-pupae stage, self-harvest. In other words, they climb out of food in order to find a dry area that they can pupate in and then become flies. So at that point, we will harvest them. We will send them through a warm water bath in order to clean them as well as end their lives. And then they're sent through a simple oil press. The two products that are produced from putting the larvae through the oil press is then the protein, which is a product in itself, and then the oil, which is obviously then converted into biodiesel. There is about 5% food waste left, but luckily this is an organic fertilizer, so that can be used in various different applications. So the great thing about the biology of the adult black soldier fly is that they do not feed. And this means that they are not attracted to food waste or to human settlements, and they live for a very short amount of time, which means that they tend to not carry pathogens like, for instance, the adult housefly would. I have a team working with me. Our lead researcher will be Nina Parry. She's currently completing her MSc in entomology, focusing on bioconversion. We also have an electrical engineer who will then design some of the equipment that we would need. And we also have an investment company who will help us source more funding as well as with the financial side of the business. The benefits of using black soldier fly in bioconversion is that, first of all, food waste to landfill is reduced. We reduced food insecurity because we're producing more calories and more protein. And we are also then lessening the burden on our oceans because fish meal is being replaced by using a recycled product then. The way I came about this idea is when I was a child, my aunt, who's a health inspector, actually took me to see a landfill as part of her sort of going around Johannesburg. And seeing what a landfill looks like actually stuck with me for a number of years. And I thought, in my own capacity, what can I do? And I've always had a flair for recycling, if you will. And in the last couple of years, I've experimented with a couple of different ways of doing it. And then I came across this insect that we want to use in the bioconversion process, and it's just absolutely fantastic in what it can do. At Agus Environmental, we hope within the next 20 years to get to recycle a total of 10 million tons every single year. Our vision is to significantly reduce the amount of food waste that's sent to a landfill, and then to reduce food insecurity and lessen the burden on our oceans.
We certainly hope that Burnout's solution will simplify the lives of millions of South Africans in the near future. Still to come your way on JoziMyBeginning, we have Ita Talyard to teach us some Legos in Lego play. We give you updates in our news, and Novisu Tundlovu from Burgundy Fly joins us for the big interview. Welcome back to the show that takes you behind the scenes of the Johannesburg's 50 million rand Community Innovation Fund. Remember, if you want to access our hints, tips, general competition information, or you just want to share your thoughts with us, do so via our social media pages. That's on Facebook, JoziMyBeginning, and tweet us at JoziMyBeginning on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. The famous inventor of the light bulb, Thomas Edison, once said, "To invent, you need a good imagination and a pile of stuff." Let's head to Ita Talyard, who shows us how to use our imaginations to make stuff with Legos.
What I want them to do is put themselves into the mind of that entrepreneur. So we've got a Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Richard Branson, Mark Zuckerberg, all these different guys. If they are able to tap into their resources, their platforms, the way that they think about business, then I'm hoping that these guys around the table will also then be able to reconsider and again open up their heads to fundamentally different ways of thinking. And in particular, I'm hoping that they are going to be more conscious of the execution and the delivery of the ideas in this round. Because often that part is missing when people think about it. They think about the idea itself, but they don't necessarily think about the execution. And with this entrepreneur, as the guys now working with them, there's a focus on the execution of the idea. And then I'm asking them to come up with sort of their marketing pitch, what is their tagline for this business that they're going to present, as well as what is their CVP. So CVP is their customer value proposition. What is that golden nugget? Why will people say, yes, I want one of these. This is going to solve a real need or a real problem that I have in my life. So this is what we are busy doing.
Remember to visit our website, www.jozimybeginning.co.za, for this mentorship video and many more like it. Many people describe their style as an expression of themselves, and good clothes can often be the quickest way to feel good about yourself. Co-founder of fashion retailer Burgundy Fly, chats about the business behind the red carpet outfits and the Instagram daily outfit of the day posts.
Joining me in studio, we have entrepreneur, businesswoman, and co-founder of Burgundy Fly, who will be giving us some knowledge and insight onto the fashion industry and its market. We have Nobesutu Ndlovu. Welcome, Nobesutu.
Thank you.
Nobesutu, please tell me, what is Burgundy Fly?
So Burgundy Fly is a platform for South African designers to showcase their love for the art and design, and at the same time to ensure that they actually make a sustainable living out of it. That's effective.
And the international markets, are they receptive to African-inspired designs?
Absolutely. So we've got a store in Rosebank, and we get a lot of international customers coming through into our store looking for authentic South African designer wear. In their terms, it's African wear, right? So a lot of them are in love with the fact that this is authentically South African. So the market is huge for South African and African designers to sell to the international markets.
And the consumers that are here in South Africa, are they more prone to buying proudly South African clothes or not?
Absolutely. We've got a store in Maponya Mall, and and I always say to people, what's Maponya Mall demystified for me is that people think that your own people don't support you. But Maponya Mall was our first store, and we're now 5 stores later, and that is 100% as a result of the support that we got from South Africans. And what's been great is that customers will say, oh, is this a local? So they think it's not a local store because of how we've actually built the store in terms of what it looks like and the design elements. We've tried to make sure that it looks as international as possible so that we can take it anywhere. But customers, as soon as they find out that it's South African, they're even more prone to come back again, because I think a lot of South Africans are conscious on the positive effects of supporting local.
And when choosing the location for these stores, what do you take into consideration?
So there's 2 phases to this, right? There's what you love and where you'd love to be. So I'd love to be in your Sandton Mall. At the moment, I am in Maponya and Rosebank, Greenstone, East Rand, and the Glen. And what I look for is, I'm looking for malls where there's feet. So in all of these malls, there's over 1 million customers that are coming into the mall on a monthly basis. So I'm looking for the probability to sell to at least 10% of those customers. The second aspect is the location in terms of the catchment area around the mall. Are those my potential customers? And the malls that I'm in currently right now are 100% those customers. And thirdly, I look at buying power in the mall itself. So I look at what other retailers are in the mall that are going to be my anchor tenants, and that then determines whether it's a good location to go to or not.
Sure. And you touched on buying power now. When you're thinking of price points, how does one even set a price for an item?
So I think price points is based on 2 aspects. There's the perceived value and there's the real value in terms of the rands and cents of it. The objective of Burgundy Fly was to really ensure that somebody who has got disposable income but doesn't want to be irresponsible with their disposable income, how can they afford garments that make them look good all the time, every day, in the office or for weekends? So we looked for a price point that almost makes it easy. And what we've always said is, coming into Burgundy Fly has got to be like picking fruits from a low-hanging tree. So our price point ensures that a customer can come out with at least 2 garments at a price point of about 1,500 Rand. So there's value for money there. So it's really looking at perceived value in relation to our customer base.
And markets are always changing. People's desires change all the time. Sometimes they like vintage, sometimes they like modern. How do you make sure that you stay current with the market?
So we are absolutely not trendsetters. We are for the classic lady who wants to look sophisticated without making too much of a noise, but yet still being making a statement. So our garments are focused to that lady who is timeless regardless of the era. So that helps us ensure that we are not a trend-based store, and therefore we will not be irrelevant in 5 or 10 years' time. We will stand the test of time. Essentially what we're trying to do is to ensure that a lady who buys a garment today can still give it to her daughter when she's 20 years from now, because that garment, the quality and the style is timeless.
Yeah. And can you give us your one fashion principle that you live by personally?
Sure. Personally, I think just do you. Whatever makes you feel comfortable, wear that. And secondly, don't be afraid of color. I mean, I know I'm wearing black today, very odd. But do color. Color just brings out vibrancy in you and within you. So the garments that you wear also have an infiltration into how you're feeling and your mood. So make sure that your garments really pick you up. And make every day a statement day. You know, be happy, be bold, be colorful. You live a very short life, so yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Novesuthu.
Cool. Thank you.
That's all from Novesuthu, my guest, and me, Puna Silisho, right here on The Big Interview.
There's always something happening on these Jozi streets. Here at JoziMyBeginning, we like to keep you up to date with the city's latest happening. Next up, we have our entrepreneurial news. Hello, I'm Nozipampanza with this week's JoziMyBeginning news. In the headlines, Interbuild Africa 2016 will open its doors to those interested in building. The Earth Expo promises to provide a platform for complete sustainable living ideas. And HackOn Africa 2016 Summit will give you a heads up on cybersecurity. If you have any ties to the construction industry or are just looking to compare options on the building services, then the Interbuild Africa exhibition should be your next stop. The exhibition will take place between the 17th and the 20th of August at the Nasrec Expo Center in Johannesburg. It will house a variety of companies involved in construction and other related industries. Exhibitor stands can still be bought on the website. The expo offers a direct reach of over 7,000 customers, as well as advertising across radio, online, and print media. Environmentally friendly products are a popular trend in today's market. Heading to the Earth Expo 2016 could help spark more ideas which are both green and innovative. The Earth Expo showcases products and suppliers which promote environmentally sustainable living, making it the perfect place for green entrepreneurs to market themselves. With participants' fees starting at 2,000 Rand, it might well be worth it to set up shop at the Expo. The event will take place from the 11th to the 14th of August at Monte Casino in Fourways, Johannesburg. More information is available on the Earth Expo website. The F&B Conference Center in Sandton, Johannesburg will host HackOn Africa 2016 on the 25th of August. The Cybersecurity Summit, HackOn, brings together the best brains in information security, leaders in hacking and cyber society, and government officials to discuss threats, solutions, and innovations. The conference will showcase the tools, techniques, and methodologies that are at the forefront of the global threat landscape. The summit is open to all those interested in web-based security. That's all from the news team. Keep your ear on the ground and feel free to contact us via email at info@jozimybeginning.co.za if you hear of anything innovative and entrepreneurial happening in and around Johannesburg. Join us again next week to continue the journey with the competition finalists. We'll be back with our mentors, updates on the competition, and we talk to another leading entrepreneur in our big interview. Don't forget to connect with us on social media. We value your interaction with us. And from myself, Nozipampanza, and the JoziMyBeginning team, thank you for joining us. Goodbye.